Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome. Welcome to our today's continuous discussion on Harinam Cintamani. So today is a very auspicious day. Today is also New Year, Solar New Year for the people from Tamil ethnic, Malayali ethnic, and also Punjabis. And I think most of India, they are celebrating New Year today. Right? Most of the ethnics, except the Telugus, they have a different timing. Then, other than that, also today is a New Year festival also celebrated in Thailand. I think today they call Songkran, the water festival. So today is the start of the summer season. Okay, the summer season starting. Now onwards, you can expect some really hot sun. But of course, in Malaysia, the weather went upside down already. Even in summer season, it's raining terribly. Anyway, it's one way is good. Okay. So anyway, thank you all for joining us today. And so today, before we start, let's do our invocation prayer. We invoke auspiciousness. We pray to the lotus feet of our spiritual master, lotus feet of all the acharyas in our Guru Varga to get their blessings so that we can become a pure devotee of Krishna. Because without their blessings, there's no way we can become a pure devotee of the Lord. Like some others says, like Abrahamic religion, they say that why do you need a person in between? Why do you need to have a medium to connect to God? Because they said you can directly approach God. So that's one of the way that they convert people. There's no medium, at least, it's a direct relationship. Fair enough, direct relationship. But it has to come through a parampara system. It has to come through a spiritual master. So that's the way. And so in order to achieve, because Krishna says he said, I can't recall where. In Bhagavad Gita also he says, approach my devotee, surrender to him, serving, while they can impart the truth to you because they have seen the truth. And how submissively and in a service mood surrender to my devotee. And also Krishna also said, you may claim yourself as Krishna devotee. You can claim yourself as my devotee, but I do not recognize you. Unless you are devotee of my devotee, you are very dear to me. So therefore, let's invoke their auspiciousness, invoke their blessings. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagarajadam Shahagara Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutare Srimati Jayapataka Swami Niti Namini Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Gaurakada Damadaya Nagaragrama Tarini Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasa Chirestarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshapanavi Vidaitai Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vignana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Koruna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastate Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dina Tarini Rupanuga Viruddha Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipranabara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhaktivinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhama Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatrubhischa Kripa Sindhubevacha Paditanam Pavini Vaishnavevayo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shari Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Right, Hare Krishna. So today we continue our discussion on Bhakti Loka, chapter 10. Sorry, Bhakti Loka, Harinam Cintamani. I think most probably we'll be completing this course by this week. So let's recap what we have learned. So the previous chapter was committing sin in the strength of the name. So that means when we think, because we have found the immunity, we have found the what they call, we have found the truth, the confidential part of the spiritual life. This is all confidential knowledge. In that confidential knowledge, we know, because in Bhagavad Gita, we understood the confidential knowledge. Krishna says, if you surrender to me, man mana bhav bhakto, mat yaji mam namaskuru, maham evasya shuddhaivam atmana mat parayana. Surrender to me, fully engage your mind, your intelligence, and fully absorb in me, you will come to me. So that's a confidential part of the knowledge he's saying. He's just declaring himself that he is the original supreme personality of Godhead. And so now we are going into more confidential part and how to surrender to Krishna and how we can achieve Krishna in a very simple way. Before you could go somewhere, you need to throw your burden out. Yes or not? If at all, if the ship is sinking, when the ship is sinking, the sailing ship, the captain will scream, the captain will give order. He said jettison. The word jettison in English is a sailor's language. When he says jettison, you throw everything out from the ship. You throw everything out. Even you're including your belonging, even you have a bar of gold or whatever, just throw everything. Only thing you're allowed just to what the dress you're wearing, that's it. Other than that, everything throw out. So the ship will become lighter so it can sail. Similarly, we have so much of burden in life. We have so much of what they call a sin that has been that has become crystallized, that stick to our body, and we couldn't float. We are keep sinking. Some or other, we are struggling, try to stay aloof from the water. We try to stay alive. So we are all struggling terribly. And when so Krishna says, well, you surrender to me. That means in other words, they are throwing a rope. Now you have hold the rope. Okay, the rope of Krishna conscious, you have start holding it. So that means you are no longer sinking because the rope is holding you. But now the question is, you have to climb the rope. And in order to climb the rope, you cannot climb with all that burden that you have in your body, all the weight, all that weight. Say you have so much of weight, you have a backpack, you have a shoe, you are so heavy. How can you climb? You cannot climb. So now Krishna says, now we have understood the confidential part of the knowledge. That is, when you chant the Hare Krishna mantra, you could just get rid of all the weight. That is, you have to open up, throw out all the weight out. You have to become light. That's when you can start to climb. So similarly, chanting Hare Krishna will remove all kind of sins. The idea about removing sins, not to become sinless, and so we got good karma, so we can enjoy our sense gratification. All right, that's not the idea. The idea about getting rid of the sin is because if in order for me to improve my spiritual life, to go back to Godhead, I have to make myself lighter. I cannot carry my burden, so that I throw everything out. So once I know that chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, it also can fulfill my material desire and also my spiritual desire. But it is not a good idea to ask for a material desire in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Okay? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I supply what you have and I protect what you lack. Krishna knows what to give you, what to take away from you. Therefore, we just simply surrender to Krishna and let Krishna take care of everything. So we understood the confidential part. Yeah, chanting Hare Krishna can take you back to Godhead, and it's so supremely fantastic. Even at Namabas, even at the offensive stage, as a neophyte, as a beginner, even you can go up to the border, you can go up to the core of the universe. That means you can pass through this thing and go up to the core. Remember that we have discussed the core of the universe. There's a 7 layer, right? 8 layer. The last is false ego. You can go up to that. That means it's such a fantastic liberation, to just go up to that. What to talk about this material universe? You surpass. You surpass all the 14 planetary systems. So we understand all this even in Namabas. Even in Namabas. That means in offensive stage, we still can achieve this kind of success. But it's going to be a very grievous mistake. A very grievous mistake thinking, I can do whatever I want, so I can go back and chant Hare Krishna to get rid of the sin. Right? Say like, for instance, today I would like to go and say like an example I gave, like illicit sex. Just feel like, okay, I feel like going to visit a prostitute. Or I feel like, having some illicit affair with another woman. Sometimes we get carried away. But of course, the thing stopping you is, hey, I'm a devotee, I'm a Hare Krishna devotee, and I've got a guru, I have to stay strong. But still, I can't stand the urge, my co-worker or there's one girl is calling me, I just like to have sex with her and everything. So then after that, I start to think, okay, never mind, I go and have a relationship with her. Then later I chant Hare Krishna, everything should be fine. That is what we meant, right? So committing sin in the strength of the name, it's a very grievous mistake that person can do. And also we have read here that even the Yamadutas, after punishing the person severely in hellish region, still the sin cannot be eradicated. That is even to think about it. You have not even acted, but just think about it. Okay, today I just chant Hare Krishna. Tomorrow I can do this nonsense. The next day, chant Hare Krishna, everything fine. Even to think about it, it's very, very offensive, right? So then this is, but sometimes if we, by faith, if one commits this offense, one should purify himself by association of pure Vaishnavas. Because other than you associate with pure Vaishnavas to repent your mistake, there's no other way. Even the hellish region cannot purify you. Sometimes when you take a gold, you need to burn the gold. You need to burn the gold and you have to dilute the gold in order to remove the impurity. That's why you can get the pure gold. Yes or not? Similarly, the hellish region was created to purify our sin. If not, we are so burdened. So in order to purify the sin, how we get purified? We purify in hellish region. Either we get burnt, we get boiled, we get fried, or whichever way, to get rid of all our bad sin. Okay. But now, so like that. So, but when we have this kind of thought, even that sin also cannot be removed. Just thought about this. And if perform it, finish, that's all. But if by faith, if by situation, environment, okay, it's something like this happen. So what he should do? He should purify himself by association of pure Vaishnava. Sinful desire are like thieves. Okay, you must understand. Your sinful desire is just like a thief, right? Just like a bandit on the road of bhakti. When you're going and people come and harass you or rob you, okay? Or road bhakti, and the pure Vaishnavas are the protector of the road. So the pure Vaishnavas are like the highway police. They are stopping there and here and there to protect the commuters. So loudly call out the name of protector. Now, Haridas, loudly call out the name of the protector, like the spiritual master. So when the protector comes, the thief flees. Say that name in love and do not fear. For remember that Lord has said, I am your protector. All right. So that's the thing that we have read in on chapter 9. So today we are talking about chapter 10, giving the name to the unfaithful. Okay. Gadai Gauranga Jai Janava Jivana Sita Advaita Jai Srivasari Bhakta Gana. So Haridas with folded hands spoke on the next aparat, the next offense. Okay, he says, because he has not developed any faith in Krishna or the name. Because he has not developed any faith in Krishna or the name, the materialist cannot hear the name. The materialist cannot even hear the name. Okay, to take up the name, one must have qualification. That means to take up the name, one must have qualification. Okay, that qualification is faith and faith alone. Okay, that qualification is faith and only faith. God casts good caste by birth. That means those who are born in a good caste by birth, or those who are born in a good family, good knowledge, social influence and strength and educational, all right? Qualification are not the cause for qualification in the holy name. So what we understand, so that means say like we born in a very good caste, high family, good family, then what they call, we are very highly educated and all these kind of things. This is not the qualification. This is not the cause of the qualification to the holy name. The only qualification, Haridas Thakur is saying, the only qualification is faith. you must have the strong faith. And faith means to have unflinching conviction. Unflinching means the conviction that cannot be changed. That means you're so firm in the conviction and conviction in the glories and the power of the name. That is the statement of the scripture. This is the statement of the scripture. Okay. Now, if one does not have faith, a real Vaishnava will not give him instruction. On the name. Okay, those who don't have the faith, they don't give the instruction on the name. So the word that we should understand here is giving instruction. Will not give instruction on the name. Okay. That is the behavior of Vaishnava. For if the faithless man takes to the name, he will simply offend it. Okay. For the person who don't have faith, when he take it, he simply will offend it. For instance, if one casts pearl to the swine, what happens if one casts pearl to the swine? That means what? What does it mean? If a person throw the pearl, you know the pearl, right? Pearl, mutu, what they call in what they call in Malay, pearl. I still don't remember what they call it, pearl. Mutiara. You know, when you take the mutiara and throw to the swine, what is swine mean? Swine means pig. If you throw the pearl to the pig, they will simply grind them to the dust. All right, they just simply start to bite until the pearl will become dust. But if one gives the cloth to a monkey, okay, he will tear to pieces. So if the faithless take to the name, if the faithless take the name, they will kill themselves on the offenses. So that means they kill themselves, means it's not history, but that means they are killing. That means they make a huge offense and they simply will kill themselves from their offenses. And simultaneously, he will give the name. At the same time, those who give the name to the faithless will lose all devotional credit very quickly. He will lose all his devotional credit very quickly. Now the question is, Alama, but what is the reason that we are going to the street and chanting? We are encouraging everybody to chant Hare Krishna. All right, that is different. You are telling them to chant Hare Krishna, that's it. All right, we are giving them the option. There is something very confidential in the Vedas that can solve all your problem. And that problem is only by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. You don't need to think about doing ritual. You don't need to think about any other thing. Just simply sit in one place and chant Hare Krishna, this mantra, and this mantra can give you so much of power. All right, that's it. So let them try chanting the Hare Krishna. But we don't sit them and tell them all these things, the chanting will this, that, giving them. Then after that, sometime, that means then after that, what happened? You initiate him, initiation. The person have no faith in the Maha Mantra and everything, but because out of popular vote, maybe he can be very rich, he can be very successful, he can be a great donor or all these kind of things. Simply take him out and just say, okay, now I give you initiation. Initiating him into that mantra. So when that thing happens, until as long as you are not an initiated devotee, you are still in learning process. All right? You are still in a learning process. Just like a person who thinks he knows how to shoot and you give him a gun, what will happen? He will misuse it like that. So you have to be very careful. Sometimes a faithless man being envious will beg the name from the Vaishnava. Right? So that means the faithless man who being envious will beg the name. Please give me the name. What does it mean giving the name? You already know the name. What do you mean by giving the name? The giving the name is taking initiation. All right? But at the same time, the Vaishnava should understand that he's a cheater. And you should refuse to give him the name. You should refuse to initiate him. So to take faith in the name, one must give up the cheating mentality. All right? If you want to take the faith in the name, one must give up the cheating mentality and the desire for position and fame. This is very, 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 very important. So say like for instance, sometimes okay, by taking them one, okay, that means you should give up one must give up. Okay, what are the things you should give up? First is a cheating mentality. And the next one is desire for position and fame. This is very, very, very important. Okay. Why we are learning this? Sooner or later that you all definitely will be a pure devotee. You will be taking up this name very seriously. You'll be initiating people and all these things. So you must remember this very, very carefully. That that what they call this kind of desire for fame. It is very dangerous. Okay, it's also mentioning in Bhakti Loka. Let me see. Okay, so in Bhakti Loka, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is quoting one verse from Hari Bhakti Vilas. In this Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is the what they call in the concluding verse. In concluding verse, and that means there's a verse. I mean, it's a chapter. In the last concluding verse, he says, "Sarvatyage pe aheyaya sarva anartha bhuvaschate kuryu pratistha vishtaya yatram aparshane varam." Okay, in this verse, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is translating. I mean, is giving that opinion of Sanatana Goswami. He says, even if one give up all material desire, the desire for fame is very difficult to give up. The desire for fame, name and fame. I am this, I am that. Where is my respect? Where is that? So the desire for fame is very hard to give up. So this desire is like, it is just compared to a stool. Stool, right? Sheet. It's compared to a stool. And it's the root cause of all anarthas. If we cannot give up fame, again, the anarthas, unwanted desires and unwanted things will start to emanate back. Therefore, one should carefully avoid touching these stool-like desire for fame. The stool-like desire for fame means page 7. Those having Bhakti Loka, you can refer that. Page 7. So that means desire for position and desire for the fame. All right. That is also a cheating mentality. Or I'm chatting. Oh, I'm not cheating. Oh, okay. That means I'm okay. So I'm very advanced. So give me one position. Huh? Oh, I need fame. I want people to recognize me. Oh, Parita Tarna, you're chanting 100 rounds a day. Wow, wow, wow. So I feel wow, feeling good. I'm feeling like, feeling like so great. Huh? This is the thing. So he should give up that kind of mentality, a cheating mentality, and desire for position and fame. Very dangerous. Fame, position for the fame. All right. So I hope that you all can always remain humble and submissive. Because if you are a humble person, means what? If you can be humble, it's an indication that your false ego, it is start to melt. Because false ego is very hard to melt. Because false ego, because we have been thinking, who am I? I am this, I am that, I am a this, I'm a millionaire, I'm a businessman, I have this, I am a datto, I am a this, all I. Okay, it is a huge false ego. But when a person can go on, start to become the process of being humble. Humble means what? You say whatever you want to say. Say sometimes when people come and call me Kling, hey, you Kling fleur, where are you? Kling. Kling is very sensitive word for Indians, yes or not? But when people call me Kling, what I have to say, well, you are addressing his body as Kling, but not me. So when people start to call you some ill names, this and that. So people can call you a loser. Just think about anything, right? You must understand all the thing is only addressing this gross body. Addressing the gross body. We should be just like a driver in a car, right? When you drive, people may curse you. But what they curse, I come back, I tell, one stupid Mercedes drive like that. You think his father's road. But what am I criticizing? I'm criticizing the car. But I don't know who is the driver inside. So just like the driver just don't realize that I'm scolding him, he just drive on. So similarly, we also do the same thing. So we should understand when whatever name, whatever things that they call you, they may call you idiot, they can call you stupid. They think that you are whatever, just say it. If we could simply tolerate it without getting agitated, that is an indication that your false ego is start to melt. Because the false ego is very dangerous, very hard to give up. So that's when we are thinking for name and fame. Me and I, oh, I am a Bhakti Sastri graduate, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Sarubhauma, this, I am a scholar. All these kind of things are not necessary at all. So we should simply, because as I said from the day one, we started the class. What is the idea about this class? Not to compare yourself with another one, not to find fault on anyone. Oh, look at the floor, Kanishta, oh, look at this. No need to find any fault. Okay. This is something we are studying here just to replenish yourself. Like for instance, you are going to learn karate. You are going karate to defend yourself, not to go around and whack people. Yes or not? Or you go learn kung fu. You learn kung fu, really fine. So that I can go to the street and terrorize. So that I can become a big gangster. That's not that idea. You are learning all this karate, kung fu, just to protect yourself. That's it. When the problem comes, protect yourself. So when this kind of challenging situation comes, you know how to stay sober. You know that I am not this body, but I'm a spirit soul. You can say whatever you want to say, just go ahead and just say it. I just not bothered. At the same time, you also start to understand that people, you should know how to pick and choose people. Not everybody with tilak, everybody with tilak, everybody looks like a devotee. Haribol, Maharaj, boom, fall at their feet. Not that way. You should able to discriminate. And that discrimination we have understood. We have read it very thoroughly. What is Kanista? What is Madhyama? And what's Uttama? So when you identify certain devotees in that way, you just tell, okay, I think I should avoid this person. At the same time, mentally honor him. Because for you to become a devotee is not a joke. You have done something great in your life, in your past, maybe how many lives you have done something great and wonderful things. Therefore, today you are a devotee. So even though today you may have some kind of character from your previous life or this thing, so which I cannot get along with you, but still anyway, I honor you. I honor you. And you don't need to say out. You just think in your mind, like the Avanti Brahmana, the thing that we have studied in Bhakti Loka, they come and break his begging bowl, they urine on him, they whack him, the food they just throw them into the water. But the Brahmana was so tolerable because he started to say, all these things are happening because of three modes of material nature. And of course, because of my previous birth karma, I'm enjoying and suffering these consequences. Therefore, I simply tolerate because I'm not this body. All right. So there's something fame is very important. The cheater is thinking, by taking the name, all right, what the cheater thinks. The cheater is thinking, right? Now, by taking the name, I no longer have fear committing sinful activities. Now, I have taken this name, so I have no more fear of committing sin, right? Then, by becoming a Vaishnava, everyone will pay dandavat to me. That's another thing. Now, since I become a Vaishnava, everybody will come and pay the obeisances to me. They start to worship me. And I can get all sorts of service from others. So people will start to serve me. Whatever position I lost, that means then after that he thinks, whatever position I lost by my previous activities. Say like for instance, formerly I lost my business, lost my listing and everything. Okay. But now I can retrieve by chanting japa. I can get it back. So by this process, I can become very happy in this world. So this is what they call the cheaters' mentality. All right, that's why the cheaters are plotting their plan. For qualification for the name, one must give up. For the then so like that. So you must be very careful, right? So now, for the qualification for the name, one must give up this attitude. One must give up this kind of attitude. All right. Hare Krishna, what is Dandavat? Okay, Dandavat means, Krishna, you asked a question to everyone. Great. Right. So I thought you asked me personally. So Dandavat means, they are having danda. The sannyasi having a stick, danda. They call danda. The stick, right? The stick. Or sometimes, the walking stick. Okay, the stick is called danda. So Dandavat means you fall at the feet of your guru or any Vaishnava, just like a danda. The danda, how the danda falls? Straightly you offer your obeisances to a Vaishnava is called Dandavat. You got it? But the Dandavat only it can be given by the men, not by women. Okay? Because the women are not allowed to fall flat. They follow Ashta something. Ashtanga and no. Panchanga and man is Ashtanga. That means Panchanga means that when the lady fall like this, they fall down. 5 part of the body touches the thing, but for the man is eight part of the body. I think Ashtanga and Panchanga, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that's the thing. 8 limbs. So that's called Dandavat. Dandavat means falling flat. That means fully falling surrender. Imagine I'm a cheater and people are start falling at Dandavat at me. Say, wow, how do I feel good, right? So that is what they call the cheater's mentality. All right. Now, so when one okay, great. You understood. So when one has come to the faith in the name, right? But when one has come to the faith in the name, once they have to build the faith in the name, and that also without effort, he will receive the name. All right. And by the name, influence, he will cross the ocean of material existence. He will cross the ocean of material existence. All right. Just imagine Krishna came with a boat to save you, and surrender to Krishna is the rope. Now you have taken the rope. You are holding on the rope. Now, in order to climb the rope, you have to throw all your burden out in order to make yourself light, and that's the holy name. All right. So that's why it says, that means you must have the faith in the name, and without effort. So once you start to have the faith in the name, so this is the word that we should highlight. Okay. What he says, without effort. Okay. So once you have the faith, without effort, he will receive the name. And by the name influence, by the influence of the name, he will cross the ocean of material existence. All right. He can cross the ocean of material existence. Okay. So that means one has to come to the faith of the name. So you do not need to take so much of effort. Just without effort, he will receive the name. Krishna will reveal them to you. And through that influence, he will cross the ocean of material existence. So what we can understand from here, that means to cross the ocean of material existence, it happened without you even think about it. For instance, now you are stuck in the ocean and you are drowning. For some or other, the water will push you up. And you drink some, just imagine you're drowning in the water. So scary. And it's a dark place, and the waves are hitting you from all sides, left, right, front, and back. Boom! You just get up, suddenly this wave hit you. Suddenly you get up, the hit you from the back. You are struggling, and suddenly you start to see one boat. And you're calling, help, help, help. And the boat comes near you, and he throws the rope. So once he throws the rope to you, once you just need to hold on the rope, and that's it you need to do. Other than that, you do not need to think how the person going to pull you up, how the person going to comfort you, and how you're going to cross the ocean and go to the shore. You don't even need to think about it. So similarly, once we accept the devotional service, once we accept the sadhana bhakti of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, that's all you need to do. As what in Bhakti Loka we have studied, for the devotee, there's no past and there's no future. Today is the day that I live to the fullest. Today is the day that I live to the full devotion. So on this day, when I'm stuck here, that I just think about how Krishna will. And you just need to be carefree. Just like a tiger takes the cup, the tiger cup. The tiger cup and all this, when you are a baby, you are so careless, right? You just carefree. You don't even need to think about anything else. They will carry you. So you just be, that means now you are a child, you are in the hands of Krishna. So once we are in the hands of Krishna, and through the teachings of the Vaishnava Parampara, we just carefully will be taken and will be elevated. So we don't need to think about how we're going to influence, how we're going to come out, how we're going to cross the ocean of material existence. We don't even need to think. Okay, like what the day Mataji, Rusan Mataji is telling, I start to feel my heart is melting. Right? So we don't need to do analysis. How do my heart melt? My heart will melt. Do you think, will I accept this? Can I accept? All that, don't worry. Just simply accept the name and just go on with this thing, devotional service. Things will just happen by itself. Just like sometimes when we eat, we don't think the food that I'm eating, how the thing going to get digested in my stomach. So first I chew the food. The amylase acid will dilute and will bring into my stomach. And into my stomach, it starts to create this, what they call, there's a fire of digestion. There's something they call, okay, fire of digestion, start to digest. And once the thing digested, all the unwanted things pushed aside, all the thing will turn into energy and it will be absorbed into every organ. You feel energetic. How the thing works, you don't need to worry. Just simply eat. That's it. The thing will work by itself. You don't need to do analysis now how the thing going. You have no. All these are waste of time. Similarly, we don't need to think how the mantra is going to work on you. But simply, when we just simply take the name, and with the name's influence, everything will fall into place. But as long as one does not have faith, if you don't have a faith, one has no qualification or capability. When there's no faith, there's no qualification, and there's also no capability of achieving the success. Like we have seen some people are chanting, every Sunday they come for Hare Krishna program. Okay, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sometimes they just come just to eat. They say at least they're coming there just to eat, but they don't have faith. Like sometimes you also wonder, why am I wasting my time doing the Sunday program? We have to come early, we have to prepare the garland, we have to prepare all these things, Abhishek, Puja, and everything, we have to get prepared. Then after that, we have to go and get vegetables, buy vegetables. Then after that, we have to come and start cooking. Sunday is my break day. Why should I need to do all these kind of things? Why not? I just simply take a break. And after I prepare all these things, one or two fellows will just come. They just come for the program and this thing. But during lunchtime, during Prashadam time, you see a big crowd is there. So sometimes when we see, we get so annoyed. What is the idea about doing this? Because we want people to come and listen to the class and getting change of heart, But these people are just coming for lunch, just to come to eat. So sometimes this kind of frustration starts, But at the same time, Prabhupada, what Prabhupada made this thing, Sunday feast, we simply follow the instruction of a spiritual master. So even there is some kind of kadupu is there, or frustration is there, but we simply follow the instruction of spiritual master. Because when people come, before they eat, they look at the deity, they fall at they offer the obeisances, And after that, they chant at least one round, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Then somewhere else. So it's a very abstract way of attracting them. They are attracted by food. But other than that, once they put the leg into the temple, every miracle will start happening with them. Because Krishna there in the form of a deity. Srila Prabhupada is there. The environment of chanting is there. He's walking into a Vaikunta. Because Krishna says, and Harinam, I think we've studied that also on the way. He says, the place that we chant Hare Krishna, the place where we do Nama Bhajan, that place is devoid of all kind of inauspiciousness. Because the place that we chant Hare Krishna, all the 33 million devas are there. Come and join your Harinam Sankirtan. So that means you are coming to a very pure, sattvic place, a pure place. So when the person comes to so much of impurity, when they come into the temple, they will have this wow feeling. Sometimes when we are coming from the hot sun, you're walking into a shopping center with aircon. And then you walk into a 7-Eleven, right? So just so like family mart, their standard is to keep the aircon full blown, full blast. They keep 2 or 3 aircon, must be 16 full blast. The place must be the place should be like extremely cold. That's a standard. I don't know what is the idea. Maybe the idea is when people see the thing all like you can see after the hot scorching sun, wow, look at the place, looks so good. At least to lure people in. It's a kind of marketing strategy. So similarly, from the hot sun, we are coming and we just walk into a family mart. Wow, the cold, chill feeling. Maybe you just go there just to buy one mineral water, but end up you buying 2 or 3 things extra. It's worth it, right? So similarly, when they walk into the temple after all of contamination of material nature, they come and say, wow, look at the deity. Oh, look at Prabhupada. Look at all these things. Wow. Then slowly they stand and they come and eat prasadam. Eat, wow. There's something unique about this food here, So this thing. So like that, we build our faith in people. All right. So therefore, those who are serving in the temple, don't get very upset thinking that no one comes, and don't even feel that you're actually wasting time. Wasting time because we understand that we are serving Krishna because we are simply a servant. We don't worry. As a servant, you cook and put there. But the master comes and refuses to eat on that day, you don't get angry with your master, yes or not? Or I say if you are got a maid in your house that who cooks, she cook, and after that you say, I don't want to eat. I've eaten outside. The maid don't come and shout at you. I work so hard to cook for you, end up you're not eating. What are you thinking? They don't do that. So simple, the same thing. So we as a servant, that we just simply do the duty that we should attract people to some or other with no qualification, no faith. Some or other they can get that kind of faith, But as long as one does not have faith, he has no qualification and capability. And that's why sometimes when they can come to this kind of setting environment, they may have some changing in life. So one should give up desire for position in the material world. Another thing is very important. One should give up the desire for position. I want to be the leader, political leader, a line leader, all these kind of things. Position in the job is different. Okay, job, that's because the position is equivalent to your salary. And that also you don't aspire for it. Just perform your duty. If they want to promote you, they just simply promote you. No need to put over and over. So similarly, like all that position in the material world, I want to be the temple president. I want to become the chairman. Okay, I'm in this political party. I want to become the branch leader. Like now there's a PKR branch. This thing is going on. I start to see one devotee is also posting. He's fighting for a chairmanship. I'm just thinking in my heart, what a waste of life. So these kind of things. So we should give up the desire for position in material world and become humble, right? So when we become humble, then listening to the glories of the name from the scripture and Vaishnavas. So the core is being humble. Now, if the Guru gives the name to the faithless man because the desire for wealth or material possession, like what I said just now. So when the Guru gives the name to the faithless man, the man don't have faith, but I simply give him initiation so that I know he can give me a big dakshina. I can go and tell, my disciple is a millionaire. And I just call, my dear disciple, yes, Guru Maharaj, can you just give me a donation of 100,000 because I need to buy? No problem, Guru Maharaj. And sometimes when the wealthy disciple comes, the Guru would be like, we got a lot of other disciples, but good target him. How are you? He's saying, oh, why Guru Maharaj, you are limping? Oh, I'm walking so far, my car also not in a good shape, That's stuff for Guru Maharaj, can I buy for you? Yes, definitely. And this kind of cheating mentality, you have to be very careful, right? The Guru gives the name so simply because of the desire for wealth and material possession. Then what will happen to that person? That by that offense to the name, the Guru will go to hell. Remember that. Even we come to the level of Guru, that means we are supposed to go back to Godhead. But when the Guru simply initiate a person just for the sake of wealth and everything, even the Guru will go to hell. Then, if by misfortune or accident the Guru gives an instruction to the faithless person, say right? So say if by misfortune or accident, I mean, he doesn't know that the disciple come and acting like a great devotee, or the Guru listen to the instruction from the temple president. Oh, because the temple president got some kind of relationship with that person. This okay, can you just give me the instruction? No, I give recommendation. Very good, Maharaj. Really? Is he good? Yes, he's very good. He's Pakka devotee. All right, then I initiate him. Then later he found out, actually, you have given to the wrong thing. So if the Guru accidentally gives name to the instruction to a wrong person, faithless person, so what the Guru should do? He should have great fear. All right, he should be here. So then he should confess in front of a Vaishnava assembly. So the Guru has to go and go to the assembly of Vaishnava. All right, the GBC and assembly of Vaishnava, you go to that. I made a big mistake by initiating that person. And, so you have to confess. All right, it's an accident. Don't go, of course, if you only can confess if you are very sincere. Yes or not? So go and confess to the assembly of this thing, then give up that disciple. What is the process of giving up the disciple? It's quite nasty way, right? What I've heard, but I've not seen. But those days, what I've heard, they cut off the sika. The sika that put me there, they just cut it off. They just cut off the sika, and the thread, they just cut off the thread. That's it. Your go. But if the disciple is very not obedient, you go near him, say, you dare to cut my sika, you dare to cut. Then what to do? Just simply give it up in front of the assembly. From now onwards, you are no longer my disciple. I have given up on you. That's it. All right. But what happens if the Guru don't do this? Then that offense himself and will become devoid of bhakti and will wander in illusion. So you have to be very, very, very careful. Okay. Now, Lord Chaitanya. Am I too fast? Is the speed is okay? Any questions so far? All good?
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu.
All right. Okay. Good. Okay. Now let's look at, okay, wonder in illusion. Now, Lord Chaitanya gave the order. Lord Chaitanya gave the order, sorry. Lord Chaitanya, in that's the case of Guru Maharaj, is very, yeah, very true. So Lord Chaitanya gave the order to give instruction in the name everywhere. So now, Lord Chaitanya gave the order to give instruction in the name everywhere. But that means to that means to give it to the faithful man. And by that, perfected, he will reach. That means perfected will be reached. All right. So even Lord Chaitanya says give the name everywhere, but that also means to give to the faithful person. One can produce faith by loud sankirtana. Yes. So one can produce a faith. Sometimes when you say, like for instance, when the person becomes so kanchong, when become so confused, sometimes you need to jerk the person, then hold the person's head and shout at the face, "You trust me? Can you trust me?" By shouting at them, "Can you trust me?" Yes, yes, I trust you. So by saying it loudly, you can create a faith. So similarly, one can produce a faith by loud sankirtan. That's why, and when the jiva attains faith, he will seek out to a bona fide guru. So when sometimes that's why we do this sankirtan on the street. We go and make loud music and everything. So people start to see, even because anything loud, okay, it attracts. That's why they like to put a loud music, that big speaker and everything. But it's a live music, right? So and that jiva will attain faith. And when he attains the faith, he start to chant. Then he will look out for a bona fide guru. Then from the guru, faithful man will take to the holy name. Then after that, he then easily achieves prema. Okay. Now, when the thieves, prostitute, or rogues, okay, now this is another interesting facts here. So now it's like this. So when the thieves, prostitutes, and the rogues, okay, when the thieves, prostitutes, rogues means like all these rowdies are made to give up their sinful mentality, right? So when the thief, prostitute, and rogues are made to give up their that means they made to give up their sinful mentality. So then one can give them instruction on the holy name, right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, then one can give the instruction. They can be a thief, they can be a rogue, and they also can be even a prostitute. If they can give up their sinful mentality, then one can give them instruction on the holy name. In this way, the name can be spread everywhere. That's why I'm saying distributing Prabhupada's book is very important, because most of the devotees became a devotee after reading Prabhupada's book. Prabhupada has his magic. Prabhupada is Shaktivesh avatar. He's empowered. He's not an ordinary personality. When he writes his book, sometimes he said, he writes his book, then after that he reads his book. Then when he give a talk, when he give a speech, then after that he will listen to his speech. Then after that, what they call the disciple asking, Prabhupada, why are you listening to the speech that you gave? And Prabhupada says, I did not speak. It was Krishna. So imagine. So that's why when we give that Bhagavad Gita, we put on people's hand. So they will listen, they will go through the instruction, pros and cons, and they go through that book, and eventually they'll have a faith and turn in heart, change in heart. Example, we have thieves, the thief that wanted to, okay, like example, a real life example, a thief in Navadvip. Okay, he's always what they call, he's a seasonal thief. He always goes inside. Then come out, he go drop something, he get caught, he goes inside. Okay. His life is 50% outside, 50% in the jail. So one day he was thrown into the jail, he saw one magazine. He saw on magazine Srila Prabhupada. The magazine about Prabhupada. When he saw that magazine, he saw that Prabhupada's hand. He was wearing a Rolex watch. Rolex. The devotee gave him a Rolex watch he was wearing, and that a photo. He was not attracted to anything, he was attracted to the watch. He said, now I have to go to him and I have to steal the watch. You understand? So after he came out, he straight away went to Mayapur. After he gone to Mayapur, what happened? He pretended to become a devotee. He said, oh, I want to surrender to Krishna and everything. So the temple president was very doubtful. Why suddenly this guy is coming here? And after that, Prabhupada says, it's okay, let him be. So he gave up. Then he became a full-time devotee serving. And his idea is cheating. He's cheating there, but the idea is to steal Prabhupada's watch. But the problem is, as he go on, his heart start to change. He start to become faith and everything. But the problem with him, he cannot sleep at night because he's a thief. Number two, what happened? He cannot keep his hand in one place because his hand is very itchy. Because he's a thief. So he always like to take this and put that. Next day they wake up, hey, where's my thing? Where's my thing? They found out. No? So, and no, sorry. That's another story in America. Okay, now this story. He cannot sleep at night. He wake up at night. He just walk around. Until the president, the temple president became so upset and called him and took him to see Prabhupada. Took him to meet Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada says, yes. He said, no, this guy cannot stay awake at night. He cannot sleep at night. He always walk around. I'm very doubtful, Prabhupada. Then after that, Srila Prabhupada looked at him and said, you can't sleep at night? No, Prabhupada. Why? Because formerly I'm a thief, I cannot say, okay, if that's the case, then I tell you what. Now we're having a lot of problems from the bandits and thieves around. Can you stay up at night and protect the temple? Be a security, look after the temple. Can you do that? He said, yes, I can do that because I cannot sleep at night. All right, if that's the case, from now onwards, look after the temple. Can you? Can you? All right. Then after he went, he said, now come back. And then he called him back. He said, yes, Prabhupada, he took out the Rolex watch and gave it to him. Nah, take it. A Rolex watch. And he was like, oh, so distinct. So what I am trying to tell you here is, Srila Prabhupada is Satyavish. So give a book on someone. So from you giving instruction to someone and try to encourage them to chant Hare Krishna, we don't know where do we stand. So when we put a book and someone said, take this Bhagavad Gita, take this all the way to Krishna, take this nectar of instruction, take any of this book and give it to them. By distributing book, when they take the book, they will be well guided by Prabhupada. All right. And in that also there's Hare Krishna mantra is mentioned. You must chant Hare Krishna. So he will chant. Maybe he'll chant as a cheating and everything, but somewhere either Prabhupada will heal him. All right. So by doing that, so when the thief, prostitute, and rogues, prostitute, you know the story I told you, right? In India, a prostitute read Bhagavad Gita, then became a devotee. Then the rogues, you don't need to know, like the lot of rogues who all became a devotee. Gangsters, there's so many gangsters in ISKCON. Former gangsters, ex-gangsters, right? Like recently, there's a person, who was supposed to sentence to death. He was just about to hang, but just few days before the hanging, he got a royal pardon. And he became an initiated disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. And this thing. So even a rogue became a devotee. So when that thing happened, one can give them. In that kind of situation, one can give them the instruction of the holy name. In this way, the name can spread everywhere. So if one does not take this precaution, all right, if one does not take this precaution, being guilty of aparadh, all right, one will go to hell. Okay, one who don't take this precaution and feel guilty, being guilty of aparadha, one will go to hell. So if the disciple commits offense, the guru has to suffer in the devotional programs. This is something very important. All right, those initiated devotees, this is all something we have to really consider. The guru suffers when we commit offense. Any offenses that we commit, the guru accepts that offense. So we have to be very careful. So rather we increase our sadhana, so let the guru enjoy the sadhana. Because we do not need to have anything in our life. Let guru have it. Since he's taking all our offenses and he's suffering, why not we do good sadhana so that he can enjoy our good sadhana? All right. So we have to be very careful. If the disciple commits offense, guru has to suffer. That's why now it became a standard in ISKCON that once a person completed his Bhakti Sastri, then completed his then after that with a good standing devotee after a certain period, these are the person given Brahminical initiation. Brahminical, right? Because once we accept a Brahminical initiation, when we do anything wrong, the Guru will suffer the greater consequences. All right? So suffer is devotional progress. So in these circumstances, both Guru and disciple go to hell. My God, Krishna. In these circumstances, both Guru and disciple go to hell. So Lord Chaitanya, being so merciful, first you gave faith to the Jagai and Madai. Okay, Jagai and Madai, there's a two personality who are terrible. They are rogues, terrible people. So now Haridas Thakur says, you being so merciful, you gave faith to Jagai and Madai. Then after that, you gave them the name. After first he created the faith, then give the name. So wonderful your personality that you created faith in all men. So that means you created faith in all men. The Vaishnava should try to follow your footsteps. So whoever takes pleasure in devotion to the feet of devotees will be decorated with this touchstone of jewel of the holy name. All right. So with that, we complete our chapter 10. So now, is there any questions, any comment? Any questions? Do you all understand the concept? Okay. First of all, we must be very careful to give that knowledge to the faithful person. All right. But of course, this is not for the new person, not for the new devotees. Now you're just like, okay, Rusan Chang, now you're coming in. It's not, all these are not, but try to understand, that's it. Of course, it's very confidential, very high standard, but I think this is something very important. I think in every temple, we should study about this subject very thoroughly before the initiation process, So that's when the person can understand where do they stand, right? So that's why in order to play safe, give Prabhupada's book. Let them have the Prabhupada's book and let them chant Hare Krishna, let them come, create the faith, and once the faith has become intensified, then they accept the chanting of the holy name. All right? Okay, now it's 9:59. Shall we take a short break? So from here we can understand how merciful Srila Prabhupada, who came to the West and to give all of us, all the faithless people into the chanting of the holy name, so that eventually we'll become elevated to the form of Bhakti. That's why the spiritual master, the Vaishnavas, are the touchstone. There's a prayer, the translation. They say, Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhye evacha, paditanam pavinebhyo, Vaishnavebhayo namo namaha. It means I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desired trees who can fulfill the desire for everyone. And they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned soul. Because of the compassion, taken a big risk by spreading this to all over the world. And therefore, that we who are faithless, we start to create faith in the holy name. It's wonderful. That's why they call as a Kalpa Vriksha tree, because the tree is giving shelter to everybody, indiscriminately. All right. So like that. Okay. Chapter 11. Now, considering the name as equal to material piety. I mean, chanting the name, just think this is another pious activity. Or in Tamil, we call Punya Karya. Harinama Javamandrathu Punya Karya. To consider that, right? Let's look at this verse. Jai Jai Gaura Chandra Nama Avatar, Jai Jai Harinama Sarva Tattva Sara. Haridas said, oh Lord, please note that the holy name is not equated with pious activities that is mentioned in the Vedas, right? It is not equated. One should know the identity of the name. Krishna is the spiritual sun, and it's perfect, conscious, and inconceivably wonderful. That means fantastically wonderful. It cannot be understood. Okay. There's all the Lord's diverse forms. That means all the Lord's diverse form can be similarly fully spiritual, including his name, Dham and Leela. Dham means place of pilgrimage. That means Krishna's place and also his pastime. All are fully spiritual. Unlike material objects, the names, unlike the material object, the names, the Lord's principal name are non-different from the Lord. When the devotee chants the name, that name is coming directly from spiritual level, from Goloka to the Atma, and from the Atma to the body, where it dances in, okay, right, let me highlight it. Okay, now, so the Lord's principal name is not different from the Lord. Okay, the Lord's principal name, as we understood, that Krishna, Ram, Govinda, and all these kind of names are principal name. All right, it's coming directly from spiritual level. That means this is the only thing can connect you straight to the Goloka Vrindavan, which is not possible through our material senses, material body, or any other kind of ritual. Okay, so that means the name is coming directly from spiritual level, from Goloka to the Atma. From Goloka straight connect to you, Atma. And from the Atma, from you inside this thing, and to the body. So when it comes to the body, then where it dances on the devotee's tongue. So in the tongue, the Hare Krishna mantra is start to dance in his tongue and also in his mind, etc. If one takes the name with this conception, then it is the real name of the Lord with full power. So that's why when we chant, we should meditate that way. That means I'm chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. It's coming directly from Goloka into my Atma, connecting straight me into Goloka, and through that me that is emanating in my gross body, and through the gross body, it comes into my tongue and start dancing in my tongue, start to dance in my mind. When all this dancing start to happen, all the impurities, everything start to dissipate, will destroy. Therefore, I'll become pure in my chanting. Right? So that's the real name. And the real name of the Lord, this is where you see the power. But to take the name as material, as a material object will lead to sorrow. But to take the name, just like another material name, will only bring you sadness, sorrow. Right? Like example, I said in a Divine Life Society, there's a song, they call it like Arati song, the last song, right? They start Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Jai Ganesha, Pahimam, Sri Ganesha, Sri Ganesha, Sri Ganesha, Rekshamam, Jai Hanuman, all the songs will come in between Hare Krishna mantra will come. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, then continue by something else. So that means the name has been kept inside, is at one of these piety or kind of punya karya, or the things of auspicious things. That means they don't see the spiritual part. So, of course, in scripture, there are various methods mentioned. In Vedas, there's various methods are mentioned according to one's qualification. All right, for coming to the Lord. Okay, that means even in our normal education, we start to study a lot of things. In scientific, there's a lot of things we study. Even though that is mundane, that is nonsense, but still we study. But later, once we go for a higher education, we start to refute. Actually, what we have learned before actually is not no. It actually is, does it make sense? Yes or not? What are the subjects in science they teach? I remember studying in Form 1, but in Form 5, they say that is not right. So like that. Okay, anyway. So according to the time, place, circumstances, and according to one's qualification, they are attracted to certain kind of scripture. So once they start study this, this is Punya Karya. They study as they go on, study, then they start realize, actually it's not Punya Karya. As mentioned before, it is spiritual. So like that. So there are various methods mentioned, but that also according to one's qualification. Okay. And that also to come for the Lord. But man who thinks only in material terms, of limited time and tangible object out of fear take no religious activity, right? So that means when man thinks only material terms, for them is they only think about material term of limited time and tangible object. All the tangible object means the object that doesn't last, like house, car, and everything. So out of fear, take they take to religious activity. They know that material concept is this thing. Then I have only limited time. Then all the objects that I have, it doesn't last. It's only tangible. So out of fear, okay, because they are scared, they may take to religious activity. But actually, the Supreme Lord is the only relief from fear. The only place that he can come out from the fear is the Supreme Lord. For by taking his lotus feet, one can cross over the material ocean. I believe that most of you are experiencing this now, right? So as we start to become more and more detailed, we start to go into more and more detailed studies of Sastra, we start to understand Krishna's pastime. When we are chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we are surrendering ourselves. Somehow or other, the fear has gone. If you really check and balance, that's why I said make your what do you call your daily journal. In your journal, it says, okay, that means you think you have fear. Actually, there's no fear, only anxiety. Right? So anxiety and fear are two different things. So the fear is gone, but slowly the anxiety will disappear. Right? So by taking the thing. So to come to the accept to the Lord, to accept the Lord's feet, the Lord has created different methods. So to come to him, they created so many different methods. For one who is in material conception, those who are in material conception, the method he subscribed is material method. Okay, those who are always like to have been material form of life, Krishna prescribed material karma kanda. All activities such as fire sacrifice, bathe, taking a bath in Ganga, doing charity, yoga, varna ashram duty, vows of visiting holy places, worship the forefathers, meditation, culture of knowledge, worship of demigods, okay, austerities and prayaschita makes us only purely a material element for a limited material goal. Okay, please underline all these statements. So that means the material conception Krishna prescribed is like doing fire sacrifice, taking a bath, doing charity, doing yoga, varna ashram duty. If you're a Brahmana, you're a Kshatriya, do your duty. You take a vow of visiting holy places like Tirupati, Kashi, and all these kind of places. Worship the forefathers, meditation, culture of knowledge, worship of demigods, and perform austerity like taking kavadi and all this, like Taipusam, and prayaschita, doing atonement, okay, parigar, all right? All these are purely material elements for a limited material goal. But these material pious activity are also means by which one may eventually come to Bhakti, right? But this idea about this thing, it is also eventually to encourage person to come into Bhakti. They will somehow or other will ended up in Bhakti. Then upon receiving Bhakti, one will reject the material and temporary means to engage solely in Bhakti, right? So that means once the person receives the Bhakti, what he will do? He will reject all these concepts. He will reject doing this fire sacrifice, taking bath, doing all these kind of vows, worshipping demigod, worshipping forefathers, varnashram, all these they give up. And what they do, they simply engage in Bhakti. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, but do not worry, Arjuna. Just by surrendering to me and engage yourself in my devotional service, the karma kanda and jnana kanda is considered achieved. All right, Ashtanga Yoga, karma kanda, that means what they call the karmi distinct, and jnana kanda, the knowledge. All these consider you have achieved. Just when we come into Bhakti. If not, the process is going to be very tedious. First you do this, then you do this, then you do this. So tedious process. So when it comes straight to Bhakti, all these considered done. All right, that's why it says. So that means what will happen? He understands this. He will engage solely only in Bhakti. Thus will bring about full bliss of prema, which is the goal of life. Now, here we can see the difference between Bhakti. We see the difference between Bhakti and pious activity. So material object and time are without real bliss. Right? So material objects and the time is there's no real bliss. but the activity and rewards from pious activity is material. All right. All the activities and reward, every activity that you do from pious activity, that is, you do pious, all the benefits you get from this kind of worship for fathers, demigods, and all these things, it is only a material activity. You got it? And to progress toward the goal of spiritual prema is slow. So that means still you can go, but you're taking a slow route. Maybe you're taking a when you are given an opportunity to drive a car or maybe fly or this thing, but no, I say no, I don't want to take a flight, I don't want to drive, but I rather take a bullock cart. Put 2 cows and just go just go slow. Still you're going to achieve, but you're going to take a long time. Okay, so there is a great separation between means and the end. Okay, there's a big separation. There's a great separation between the means of achieving and the end of achieving. That means you're taking a bullock cart in the means to go to the thing and the means and end. All right, so it's a big, great separation. Therefore, being merciful, the Lord has given the holy name. Because of that merciful distinct, because the means and the end are so much. So in order to close the gap, Krishna was so merciful, he have given the holy name, by which the intelligent jiva can attain perfection. Right? The intelligent jiva can attain perfection. Because the holy name is also means or method. Okay, the holy name is also the means, the way, or the method. And it is considered by some to be the part of pious activity method. So it is considered by some to be part of pious activity method and with no potency. So there's a karmi or whatever this thing. They understand that there's a mean of perfection. Harinam can give you a means of perfection. But sometimes what they call, it is also some consider it as part of pious activity. You want to do prayers, pious activity, you chant Hare Krishna. And that also, there's no potency in it. They think like that. In the same way, materialists, all the materialistic people think that Vishnu, like Brahma and Shiva, can be counted as a material demigods. So sometimes they also think that Vishnu, just like Brahma and Shiva, it also can be counted as a material demigod. Okay, it's very interesting. Though the name is transcendental without material tinge. The name is transcendental without material tinge. There's no drop of material things inside there. But the jiva covered by materialism gives the name, the material position as the material pious activity. All right. So that means the name is transcendental and there's no tinge of materialism inside there. But the jiva who is covered by materialism, who is in materialistic idea, they give the name as they put the name in material position. All right. Just like another pious activity. This is offensive to the name and obstacle to bhakti. All right. Now the question is, do you understand what I said? Any question? You all got it? If yes, put a thumbs up. If you don't understand,
please
you can ask
explain, Prabhu. You don't understand. Hello, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
yes.
Please explain again. I can't understand.
Which one? Which one you want me to explain?
That phrase which you said, you read, though the name is transcendental without material tinge.
Okay.
That's the whole sentence. I don't understand.
Oh, right. Okay, sure. See, okay, now let's look at this thing. It says that okay. Okay. First of all, like this. So, being merciful, the Lord given the holy name, by which intelligent jiva can attain perfection. So far, so good. Because the holy name is also means or method. Okay, is considered by some to be part of the pious activity, right? Because the holy name is also a method of achieving perfection. You understand that, Mataji, so far?
Prabhu? Yes.
Do you understand this so far?
Yeah,
That
that I
means
understand.
the method of achieving perfection is chanting the holy name. Okay, got it?
That I understand.
Okay, now, then after that he says, But some pious activity, okay, then by some, it is also considered by some. Like some people, they consider this as just like another pious activity. Punya karyam.
Oh,
Right? And sometimes they also think there's no potency, no other potency. With no other, that means it is only a punya karyam, but nothing else. Say like for instance, you go to Vinayagar, you do topu karne. So what is that? Is a practice. It's a practice of worshipping Lord Ganesh. Yes.
yeah, right. Yes.
So that's it. So but some say it is just a pious method, but there
Okay.
is no potency. That means you are doing this thing, but you know what people interpret? They interpret as, oh, this is good for your health. You're pulling your ears. You're doing yoga while worshipping Ganesh. In that way, you so far got it?
Yes. Then
Okay. So in this way, what happened? Sometimes materialists also think Vishnu, like Brahma and Shiva, also can be counted as material demigods. They also count that Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all demigods.
let me go, sir.
Okay. Now the next thing.
This sentence here.
Okay. What this is not okay?
Though the name.
Okay, no, my this thing is not okay. Okay, though the name is transcendental, even the name is transcendental. Okay, transcendental, and there is no without material tinge. There's no materialism inside. It's very powerful. It's very pure. Okay,
Pure.
but the jiva who is covered by materialistic idea, the jiva, that means the person who are materialistic person. Okay, what they give the interpretation, they give the name as material position. So that means the person who are in that materialistic idea, they will take the holy name and they give the idea, or this is another materialistic name.
Oh, now I
So
understand.
what they do, they also make it looks like material pious activity. It's another punya karya, just like
Punya karya.
Vinayagar.
Okay, okay.
It's so powerful, but this is another normal materialistic way of it's just another, it is just another pious activity.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is offensive to the name.
Okay.
Okay, and also an obstacle to bhakti. Okay.
Now I
Nice.
understand. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
That's the case. I think the audio of Sadguna is on. Okay. All right. Now. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on. Okay, you all understand, eh? Okay. In truth, the name is the end and the goal. Okay. Now you understand what I'm talking about. So the two things that we spoke just now. All right. Okay. So the terms that we spoke here. Okay. There is a great separation between the means and the end. Okay. There's a big separation. There's a big difference between the means and end. Means the activity, and means the result. Right? So what happened? The materialistic people will take the means, they're chanting the holy name as the means of another pious activity. Punya karya. But it's supposed to be the end result, which is prema bhakti. It's a big difference. Now, do you understand this? So, do you understand the word means now?
Yeah, yes,
MEA.
Prabhu. Yes.
All right. So now, okay. So now we have already spoke about the means. That means they think that material covered by materialism, it gives a name or means of material as piety. This is very offensive. But the truth is, the name is the end, the goal, which is full of spiritual bliss, the perfection, and simultaneously the name has also appeared in the material world as the means of jiva to come to the end. Now, can you see? The materialistic man take the name as the means of pious activity, which is offensive. But in reality, the name is the end, the goal. Because end of the day, what do you want to achieve? I want to achieve prema, full spiritual bliss. But in order to achieve that, the end goal, the name came in this material world as the means or the way or the method for the jiva to come to that end. It's a tongue twisting. I hope you understand. Who don't understand? Rusan Mataji, do you understand? Oh, you understood. Great. All right. Since Rusan Mataji understand, I assume everyone understands. Can I do that? Or is it a speculation? Who don't? Everyone got it? Vivan, Kesavan, Sheila Mataji. Okay, great. Right. So now, okay. So now this is the means to achieve the end, the method of achieving the ultimate goal. Yes, okay, great. Now, thus, the name is both the means of the purification and the end of prema. So the means of purification, the name, purifying, at the same time, the name also will send you to prema, the end result. All right. So now again, according to one's qualification, the name may be acting as means or end. So now as we are all a beginner in devotional service, so the means, now what we are doing is we are purifying our past karma, past sin. You know, so we have to go on purifying all our things that we have done in the past just by chanting is a means to eradicate. All right, eradicate. Okay, so eradicate. So once we come to the perfection, once everything is done, the same means will take you to the end of achieving the highest goal of prema bhakti. So the holy name is purifying and also cost of prema. Okay, so like that. First we start with namabhas, with offensive stage. We go on chanting, chanting, chanting slowly. Okay, slowly, slowly, slowly. Then we become a faith in the thing. So we become a quite advanced in namabhas. Then we accept initiation from a spiritual master, and we go on chanting. The purification will start to go on a very fast pace. You know, all that anartha. So first we start to purify to calm our senses, to give up all our habits. That's why they say that the four regulating principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. First thing when we chant before initiation, this kind of anarthas remove. But after we accept initiation from a guru, then another part of anartha, which is more advanced, will start to remove. Ahankar, false ego. Then your intelligence will get purified. You know, then your identification will start to purify. And your entire body, all the senses, which is so materially obsessed, material senses will start to become spiritual, will be purified. So with all that purification, everything happened. Then after that, your past karma, past birth, all the sins that you have accumulated one by one start to get purified. When all the things cleared, then when you're completely pure, then you come to the level of achieving prema. So you have a choice with you. Whether you want to do 16 rounds, you're going to take your time, or you want to do it quickly by chanting 64 rounds. It's entirely your own decision. All right. But your goal has to be 64. But today I'm only chanting 5 rounds. Never mind. Fake it till you make it. Pray to Krishna, pray to Guru, pray to Prabhupada. My dear Prabhupada, please give me the taste. My dear Krishna, please give me the taste. You know, make the process of cleaning very quickly, very fast. You know, because 25% of 64 rounds is 16 rounds. So that means every 4 days you achieve 100%. So when you really look at it, you are like, so therefore, set your goals and this thing. So even if you're going to chant 64 rounds, you have to do it very attentively. But now maybe you can start to say, I'm going to chant 16 rounds and I'm going to chant very attentive. So when you chant your Hare Krishna mantra, get rid of everything. No phone, no nothing, no social media, no any extract. Just go to one place, sit there and just meditate in the pronouncing the word and you achieve your success, right? So because there's a distinct. Okay, now, in the world, we can find two means. In this world, we can find that's a two meaning. The secondary or indirect means of purification or pious activity. So that means there's a two, in the world, we can find two means of achieving. Number one is secondary. The secondary part or indirect means. Indirect means of purification. Indirectly, you're getting purified, such as pious activity. Okay, pious activity. And the principle means, which is the holy name. So the principle is the holy name, but indirectly is the pious activity, do this kind of all the good things, feeding the poor, beggar, and all these kind of things is indirect. Okay. So indirect purification and direct purification. So one should not confuse the two and equate them. You should not be confused and make both alike. Don't equate them. By singing the name, the transcendental bliss will come and make the heart dance. So by singing the name, the bliss will come into the heart and make the heart dance. That is actually the essential character of the name. That's the essential character of the name. And it is full of nectarian pastimes. So that means sometimes we can see when a person who listen to the name and can start dancing, we know that name is taking effect. But sometimes when the name take effect, but people just don't dance and they stay like a lock, I mean the Harinam still haven't really penetrated into the heart. So that happiness achieved by jnana and yoga may seem great in comparison to the shadow of happiness received from the material world. Right? So that means that actually is an essential character of the name that make you full of nectarian pastime. So now that happiness achieved by jnana and yoga may seem great in comparison to the shadow of happiness received from the material world. So sometimes the happiness that we receive from jnana or being very educated or through yoga may seem great. It can look greater than feeling, chanting, dancing and everything. It feels, maybe that is looks more exciting, all right, in comparison to the shadow of happiness. So receive from this material world. But in comparison, but when we really compare the happiness, the bliss of the holy name, right, that happens is a skant. Okay, what is skant means? Let's see. Barely sufficient or not enough. Okay. So that means we understand that means, but to compare the happiness that we receive by doing yoga or by doing this kind of other activities, materialistic activity, it just happiness is gone. That means it's not enough. It's not sufficient. It's just a mere drop. You got it? So now at the stage of sadhana, the purificatory stage, the name is the means. So by the stage of sadhana, when we perform devotional service for purification, the name is the only means, but in the pure stage, right? But in the pure stage, the name is the end and the highest bliss. Once we achieve the pure stage, the name can give you highest bliss. Thus, it cannot be compared. It cannot be compared to material pious activities. Okay, you cannot compare it with material pious activity. Even at sadhana stage, even at the starting serving stage, the name remains pure. Even as a first timer, you're doing sadhana bhakti, when you start to chant, even the name will still remain very pure. Right? The anarthas of the sadhaka only make it look impure. The anartha of sadhaka means what? The anarthas, the impurity of the devotee. Sadhaka means devotee. Sometimes the anartha, that means sometimes we see devotee we have bad character. The anarthas, he can be very moody, he can be very terrible character and everything. Only the anarthas of that devotee he only can make it look impure. He's chanting Hare Krishna, but still he's like that. So only his character shows that name is impure, but actually it's not that. Okay, but by the association of a Vaishnava, material mentality and anartha will go away, and the pure name will show. Okay, so that means by this thing, all this, by association of devotee, all these unwanted anarthas will go away, and that's when you start to see a pure name. That's why association of devotee is very, very, very important. But with pious activity, one must reject them in the end. All right. So that means in pious activity, what that we do, eventually we have to reject at the end, but one never rejects the name. All right. When we are in pious activity, so once we are improving, we reject all this pious activity, all this kind of punya karya, we just throw away, but not the name. In one stage, it is covered, but the other stage is pure. At one time, it can look covered. chanting Hare Krishna, I don't feel anything is covered. But in the other stage, once you start to improve, it become pure. All right? Now, let's see how more. Okay, just another 2 more this thing. We just finish our time. All right. Then, all right. So, by the mercy of the Guru, this knowledge is revealed. So, by the mercy of the Guru, spiritual master, this knowledge is revealed. If this knowledge is lacking at the stage of sadhana, then one becomes offender. Right? If the knowledge is lacking, that means if this knowledge is lacking in the stage of performing devotional service, then one becomes an offender. But if one has faith in that name is supreme and without equal, then quickly the pure name will be revealed along with full bliss and nectar. By thinking about this, I think we made the best decision by discussing this nectar of Harinam Cintamani. All right, because I have went through this, but I've never went through up to this detail. So maybe all this, by the mercy of the Guru, this knowledge is being revealed to us, and we should be very, very fortunate. What do you think? Do you think it's quite amazing, right? Yeah, because even though that that means like in other words, what I feel, I mean, I'm not trying to speculate, but it looks so real that every topic that we take, it looks like it is as a divine intervention or the divine guidance by Krishna and the Acharyas, by Srila Prabhupada. What do you all think? Why suddenly we choose this book? But looks like it is so much of essential thing in this, just the holy name. Do you all agree with me?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. It's amazing. Wow. I can't believe it. Krishna. It's fantastic. Oh, I'm feeling like overwhelmed. By reading this, I start to realize so many places that I've created offense. But of course, we are studying this book. And please, after this, you also go back to this and make it a point to always listen to the lecture on this, what they call, on this Harinam Cintamani. Or you can even download and read the book very often. Because this Harinam Cintamani is the only method that we can go back home back to God. That's the only method. And we should know thoroughly well how we should avoid offense. Or offense means what? Stumbling block. You are already on your path. Suddenly there's a detour. Suddenly you feel, GPS says take left, and there's a road will be connecting, so you get a shortcut. You take the road, end up the road is closed. So now you have to take a U-turn, come back to the place you start, then take and go back. So all these detour. So all these things will become very delayed in your journey back home, back to God. So this is very important. I'm really surprised. By the mercy of the Guru, the knowledge is revealed. And if this knowledge is lacking at the stage of sadhana, even in the stage of sadhana, so that means when we don't have this knowledge of these offenses and all these kind of things, so I don't think so, even as a sadhaka, even as a first-time devotee, we can achieve success. Because it says even lacking at the stage of sadhana, it's a very clear indication. Something wrong with my mouse. That's why I need to use my distance. So my drawing is becoming so haywire. Anyway, so now it says that by the mercy of God, if this knowledge is lacking even in the stage of sadhana. Sadhana means what? In our distinct, okay, in the beginning or a devotional service, sadhana part. Then one become an offender. Even as a sadhana bhakta, even as a new devotee, we are still considered an offender. Can you see that? So now as a new bhaktas, we are all can save ourselves from doing this kind of offense. But if one has faith in that name is supreme and without equal, then we understand this is not an equal thing. Then quickly the pure name will be revealed along with full bliss and nectar. I just pray to Srila Haridas Thakur, Srila Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada, Guru Varga, to bless us all with this pure stage of chanting as quickly as possible. And also, we protect ourselves from doing this kind of offense. You can chant offensively. You can chant by looking in there. It also can be anarthas. I mean, it can be what they call, it can be a namabas. It's okay. But to create these kind of offenses like, okay, I chant and I get rid my sin. Oh, I think the chanting is another punya karya and all these kind of things. We should not do that. That's why sometimes when I do kirtan, sometimes when we go and do this house program or temple program, I just chant Hare Krishna mantra. I don't chant any other name. Like for instance, as this is my way of doing. I'm not generalizing. I'm just saying my way of doing. Sometimes when they do kirtan, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya, all these songs I don't sing. Then Raghupati Raghava Rajaram, I don't sing. Then Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe Radhe, that name I don't sing. I don't sing anything. I only sing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Sometimes they ask, you don't have any other song? I said, no, I don't know any other song. Because the chanting of the holy name is the purest, is the topmost, simply by chanting the name just 1 hour, like in Namahat, in our Namahat, in our program in Ipoh, like tomorrow is our Namahat program. What we do? We meet at 8:30 until 9:15, 45 minutes non-stop singing. Just one mantra, Hare Krishna mantra. Non-stop. Just we go on singing and singing and singing for 45 minutes to 1 hour. Then after that, 1 hour class. That's it. Bhagavad Gita class, detailed studies. That's it. No, nothing in between. There's nothing in between. So therefore, so what I'm saying is, just keep this nama with you. You go to any temple. You say if you happen to visit any Krishna temple or Ram or Vishnu, what they call Ganesh temple, Kartik temple, Shiva temple, offer your obeisances and pray to them. My dear Vaishnava Prabhu, kindly bless me with the pure devotional service. Then after that, you just get up, look at them and chant Hare Krishna to them. You look at Lord Shiva, just say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Say it 3 times or 7 times or 9 times or what. You pleases them tremendously. There's one devotee, father and son, I used to see in Ipoh. They used to come to this the Taipusam temple, that Kalumala temple, when I'm in Murugan temple. They just come there, they sit in one corner and they just look into that Lord Kartikeya and they just go on chanting. I don't know whether they finish the entire 16 rounds or just chanting 1 round or what. I was like, who's this? These 2 father and son sitting and chanting for the pleasure of Lord Kartikeya. So like that. So we don't need to know any other mantra. We don't need to learn any other mantra. We don't need to think any other mantra. Just sing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That's it. Just sing. When you sing Hare Krishna. When you chant Hare Krishna. Others are not important. Okay? And sometimes if you think you're going to be a kirtaniya, you're going to lead a kirtan and everything, do remember one thing. Here we are not doing any showmanship. Or in Tamil, we are not doing any kacheri. அப்படி சொலப்பி கச்சேரி பாடுறதுக்கு இது நம்ம இந்த இடம் இல்லை. இந்த இடம் ஹரிநாம ஜபம், ஹரிநாம கீர்த்தனம். Okay, this place is not a place of showmanship. You are not an artist who try to sing and start to show your skill. Even the mridanga is hit wrongly, even the kartal is hit wrongly, doesn't matter. You just need to concentrate in the chanting of the holy name. Sometimes they say, oh Prabhu, your mridanga is very bad. Oh, your raga is running, your tala is running, your kartal, you are hitting something else. No, we are not doing any showmanship here. Of course, in kirtan, when there's a professional singers are there, that's different. But if you're going to perform it, when you take the kartal, you hit wrongly, don't feel anything. You are just trying to please the Lord. You are just trying to, like I gave one example, like in Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, they'll be playing the drum, which has no meaning. And they'll be singing Harinam, Harinam, and they'll be singing and dancing in ecstasy. So what is the ecstasy there? They are not even thinking of how they hit the drum or hit the mela and everything. Doesn't matter. But the holy name of the Lord brings ecstasy. When that holy name brings ecstasy, when we can concentrate in the word that we are uttering. That's it. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Concentrate in the word, just the word. How are you pronouncing? Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Not the tune, not the raga, not the tala. Name. Only name. So when you think about Hare, you are thinking about Radharani, the one that holds Krishna's internal potency, the Ladini Shakti. And you're calling upon Krishna, the most beautiful one. Right? Then you're calling upon Rama, who is the reservoir of all pleasure. Right? That's it. But now you can ask, Prabhu, but you are telling when you chant Hare Krishna, just concentrate in the name. But I cannot see Krishna as the most beautiful one. I cannot meditate Rama as the reservoir of all pleasure. And I can't even think about Hare, which is Radharani, who is the owner of the Ladini Shakti. I can't think about all that. What to do? Right? I give you one example. Now, I hope everyone can participate with me. Right? In this example, someone sent a message. Slide from you, still we got 3 paragraphs. Yeah, understand. Yeah, sure. So, example, sometimes when we talk about some nice dish, okay, example like you talk about ice cream. Okay, what is more nice than ice cream? Okay, say like for instance, you're talking about payasam. Today is what they call New Year. Every home, I think we make payasam, vada, right? It's a kind of Indian donut, spicy donut. Okay. Then we make this gulab jamun. We have this halwa. Correct. And any one of you don't know what is halwa? Thumbs up. Any one of you don't know what is halwa? Okay. Every one of you can imagine halwa. You know, halwa. You think about halwa made of ghee. This as a okay. You are not making halwa from butter. This is halwa using ghee. You take one big portion of ghee and melt it on this suji. You know, suji, you just fry it and just put the thing, and you're putting a lot of sugar, cashew nut. Can you smell? Come on, thumbs up. Can you imagine? Any of your mouth is start watering? Hare Krishna, please participate. Okay. Any of your mouth start watering? Can you imagine? Wow, I feel like watering, right? So it's just like that. Just by thinking something tasty, you don't even need to look at it. You don't even need to think about it. You don't even need to put your thing into your mouth, and your mouth will naturally, your tongue will start to sweat. Will start to water. You start, wow, similarly. You don't need to think what is the name of the mantra. You don't need to think what is the means of the mantra. When you simply chant Hare Krishna mantra, even without knowing, your tongue will melt. Your tongue will go into ecstasy. That's it. Simple as that. Does it make sense? If one commits this offense and desire relief, what happens if you commit this and of course, and you want to have a relief? What you should do? One should seek good association and purify one's intelligence. If an outcast surrendered to the pure name, even the person who have come from a very low family, outcast. For one's own purification, one should smear his food dust on one's body, should eat his food and remnants and drink the food of his water. In that way, one can similarly obtain the pure name. An example of this is Haridas. Okay, if one commits this offense and desire relief, what happens if you commit this and of course, and you want to have a relief? What you should do? One should seek good association and purify one's intelligence. If an outcast surrendered to the pure name, even the person who have come from a very low family, outcast. For one's own purification, one should smear his food dust on one's body, should eat his food and remnants and drink the food of his water. In that way, one can similarly obtain the pure name. An example of this is Haridas. one should seek good association and purify one's intelligence. Okay, if an outcast is surrendered, that means if an outcast is surrendered to the pure name, okay, for one's own purification, that one should even smear the food dust on one's body, should eat his food remnant and drink his food water. Example, even a person who are outcast, killjoy, all right, outcast. In Indian, we got hierarchy, outcast. Even if the outcast person becomes a pure devotee, who surrendered to the pure name, by taking the dust from his feet and putting around your body, and even eating the food that he has eaten remnant, and even like drinking that water that washes his leg, that can be even can even purify a person. It's a great purification method. Okay, so therefore we understand the chanting of the holy name. The chanting of the holy name, there is no discrimination, but anyone who becomes a pure devotee, that person is worshipable. In that way, one can similarly obtain the pure name. An example of this is Haridas. There's a person, Haridas is an example. So Haridas says, I'm materially minded and I'm just sing, and I just sing, but never do I get the touchstone of the name. Be merciful, O Lord, and dance on my tongue in the form of the name. Keep me the material realm in the spiritual sky. He says, no, but Haridas Thakur is not praying to Lord Chaitanya. He says, keep me in material realm or in spiritual sky. You keep me here or you keep me there. Wherever you put me, I don't care. Give me only thing I want, give me the nectar of the name. You have appeared in the world to give the holy name to the people in the world. Please accept me as one of those people. True, I am low. Okay, now he's telling, yes, I am low because he is a Muslim. And he's in those days calculation, Muslims are considered outcasts because they are beef eaters, right? Dog eaters considered outcast, but imagine they're beef eaters, they are even worse. Okay, now Haridas Thakur says yes, because yes, true, I am low, but you are deliverer of the low. You are the one who delivers the low people. This is our unbreakable relationship. On the strength of this, I am begging for the nectar of the name. In Kali Yuga, not even possible to execute the path of pious activities. Even the pious activities not possible. Therefore, the name has appeared here as the sole process for the age. Whosoever serves the devotion as a servant of Haridas, whoever serves in devotion as a servant of Haridas, and thinks himself to be without qualification, is qualified to sing the touchstone of this holy name. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Let every one of us take the shelter at the lotus feet of Srila Haridas Thakur, Nama Acharya, and please beg at his lotus feet. Oh dear Haridas Thakur, we are so fallen and we are so unfortunate, and we are real Kali Yuga vasis. We are all our senses are extremely polluted, and we don't have the taste at all at the holy name of Sri Krishna. Kindly bestow your mercy unto us, oh dear Haridas. Please bless us all so that we do not ask any other boon, we do not ask any other favor, and even we don't even want to go back home, back to Godhead or remain here or whatever. The only thing that we beg from your lotus feet, just give a small little drop of that pure holy name, so that little small drop we can relish birth after birth. Hare Krishna. Haridas Thakur. So tomorrow we're going to continue chapter 12, inattentive while chanting. Then after that, chapter 13 is our final. Okay. Go read chapter 12, chapter 13. Oh, but chapter 14. Oh, right. Okay. Let me check the book. So this book is actually 15th chapter, I think. Anyone got a book with you? In front of you?
Yes.
So total is chapter 15, right? 15, right?
$15 and the other ones are called Nama Bhajana.
Nama Bhajana. All right. So that means we're going to do 12, inattentive, and 13. And today is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, most likely this week we'll finish this. We'll complete the Harinam Cintamani. Okay. So now let's open for questions. There's a question here. The things not coming out, popping out. Yes, okay. Any questions? Any comment? Okay. If there's no question, no comment. We end the session here. Thank you so much for your time. It's very pleasurable to be with all of you and my what they call my obeisances to each and every one of you. Because of your enthusiasm, we are studying this. I am studying this, Again, I'm telling you, I'm a very lazy person. And for me to sit and study by myself, while I'm doing a group studies with all of you, I start to realize, oh my God, where did I miss this? So thanks to every one of you. And have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful New Year festivity. And okay, so we meet again tomorrow. Till then, have a wonderful day. Vanchakalpatrubhescha, Kripa Sindhubevacha, Patitanam Pavinebhyo, Vaishnavebayo Namo Nama, Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Sri Harinam Cintamani ki jai, Founder Acharya of ISKCON Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev Maharaj ki jai. All glories to all Vaishnava devotees. Hare Krishna. Have a nice day. Gauranga.